Hello everyone, welcome back to another ReplayCast. Today, in the bottom left spawning as the red Zerg player, we're gonna be having Namshar, playing for Team Infinity Gaming EU. And in the top right spawning as the blue Terran player, Sol, playing for Team Makers. Not sure if he's still part of the team, but he's still part of the clan on Battle.net. This is one of the games from the most recent stay-at-home story cup, where I've been getting a lot of my recent replays from. Absolutely fantastic tournament as a Corona replacement for the actual home story cup, of course. Now we have Namshar here opening up with something special. I think this was a 16 pool. See the drone swimming inside, creating that pool from his body as he becomes the pool eventually. Extractor being taken after the hatchery, so most likely for some kind of regular speed timing, right? Don't want to be getting that gas too early, really cuts into your economy as the Zerg player. So instead we see Namshar first get that hatchery. A lot of larvae being saved up as we see 6 lings being started immediately. Well, 3 sets of lings and a roach warren going down as well. So this is going to be a classic really. You run by 6 lings, you put them over here or over here. You wait until the Reaper goes out, is midway through the map. You run in the 6 lings, try to go for a cancel on this base. Because you force the Reaper to return back home, he won't be able to scout your roach warren, and then boom, 3-4 Ravagers show up, kill your depots, ruin your life. You go cry back home and you lost the game. Congratulations. Sol, however, found this one weird trick that baffles scientists, and that's scouting with an SCV. So we see the Reaper just stays at home. He saw the timing on the hatchery and is like, okay, I don't think I need to go anywhere. And right now Namshar's like, oh crap, like this actually kind of sucks. Sol also managed to scout the roach warren, so he is in complete control this game. Starts a tech lab rather than a reactor, which you would usually see. And this could either be for marauders or this could be for cyclones out of this factory. So curious to see what we're going to be getting there. Bunker gets created on the high ground, so playing it very safe, Sol is. And is this going to be marauder? No, looks like it's going to be... okay, yeah, it's going to get a reactor on this barracks and will be... Oh. We'll be heading into a cyclone. Very bold play here by Namshar, who decides to go into the main base, gets a marine for his effort, might get an SCV as well. Sol doesn't micro this, loses the SCV on the low ground, so 3 SCVs actually going down against these 6 lings. That's it's pretty decent here, I have to admit, for Namshar. Managed to delay this bunker as well. Won't delay it quite enough. Cyclone is on the way right now, and we see the follow-up for Namshar. It's most likely just going to be drones. Yeah, a couple of drones moving down to that natural base already. So we have 3 roaches. Not quite sure what to do here. Speed starting. He doesn't actually have the resources to turn these into Ravagers. Sol being completely prepared. Poor Sol. Scouted so well. Done everything, and then Namshar doesn't even really attack with these units. We'll get a Ravager in the end. I'm not a big fan of this. I feel like after getting scouted, you might as well just cancel the roach warren, save a little bit of money on that. Force the reaction still by your opponent, of course. Yeah, I mean, once the cyclone is out, you just gotta return back home. Cyclone is moving forward. Overlord, of course, is hidden on top of this patch of weird-looking grass. I wonder if that's only there because the Overlord, you know, fertilized it with the stuff that comes out of Overlord. We've all seen it. It's not a very pleasant topic to talk about. So we have still the roach warren. I'm curious to see if Namshar will decide to stay on roaches, but because he got ling speed, I'm suspecting him just getting into a more ling bane base style still. A lot of the time after openings like this, because they already have the roach warren, they will continue forward into roaches, but Namshar doesn't seem to be into that too much. Now Sol is getting a first tank right now, as well as a Banshee without cloak, and so far it seems like he's just playing really safe, honestly. He doesn't really... he isn't doing much this game, you could say. Right, Banshee at home, all for safety in case of a roach push. He's moving out on the map with a Cyclone, so he's not expecting that there is ling speed. Now we'll lose this Cyclone for not free. It's an Overlord. Whoop. Fertilizes this patch. Might see some flowers there next game. As we this Banshee won't be able to do very much on the other side of the map. There's no Hellions for map control, so Sol is playing from a blind spot pretty much, but he's gonna be fine with that because his eco is completely fine. It's even to the Zerg, because the Zerg did do a lot in the early game, right? A lot of units were built and really didn't do much of damage. Like Sol lost a couple of SCVs, but usually you need to kill like 8-9 SCVs for the Zerg to be worth it, and the Zerg didn't kill 8-9 SCVs, so that definitely wasn't worth it. Banshee makes his way, well, halfway across the map to go for some kind of spotting. Reaper goes in towards the third to try and get a scout, sees the spore, might be able to get a drone or two before it gets cleaned up. No, doesn't get a single drone, so 3 workers killed. Very passive game so far, even though it started with a roach rush. 6 lings into a roach rush. It's been very passive after. And yeah, we do have the 1-1 upgrades for melee and carapace, so we are going to see a more Ling Bane focus style, which is good to see because Sol is going into bio. He does have a couple of tanks already. We might see him use these in a push, or we might see him use this to defend his third base as he's doing his initial 16-15 marine drop across the map. Of course, very standard to see Terrans move out with those 2 medevacs once they pop. 16 marines, try to clear some creep, then the next 2 medevacs come, try to clear some creep again. And then afterwards you can see a tank push, usually around the timing to 2 finishes with 7 or 8 racks, depending on what the Terran wants to do. Now Banshee actually is getting a little bit of damage. I'm not sure how he got these drones, but I am impressed. No cloak, lots of creep everywhere. Now, the map vision of Sol is very little, of course. He is really just trusting on his instincts. He's gonna start spreading some marines, trying get vision of some general areas. And as Namshar is rather passive and afraid, it seems like, he doesn't really have the balls right now to send any links on the map for run-bys. Yeah, here come the first 2 medevacs, 15 marines, absolutely fantastic, flying towards the main base, I guess, on Namshar. Not quite sure where these bad boys would be going. Yeah, and main base it is indeed. So we will be going straight there. Is there vision here for Namshar? Oh no. We'll spot it in the last moment, but Sol's already unloading. Namshar's not paying attention at all. Right now 60 marines in the main base. Namshar will need to put away all of those drones very quickly. Does do that indeed. Spore gets targeted down. Extractor gets targeted down. So some big HP targets will get cleaned up here. Practically 2 drones that fall as well, right, in this building. They will need to be rebuilt. Spore gets rebuilt as well as the extractor. We see a good scan here by Sol, who cleans up a big portion of the creep on the right side. There is 7 queens, however. Yeah, here come the boys. Well, here come the girls. They managed to push away these medevacs and respread that dirty creep. On the other hand, we have that single medevac of Sol also doing some work on the top side of the map. So some nice multitasking here by Sol, who is continuously rotating his units and trying to find locations. This Banshee is here for denying creep. This Liberator will go into the main base after sniping the Spore. He's like, you know what, I think I might be able to do some damage there. Beautifully queued up Liberator. And get some more creep in the middle as this drop is heading, well, it's going on quite a journey. Maybe into the natural base. Liberator main does get cleaned up eventually. Oh wow. Good micro here by Sol, or good unit control, and goes into the natural. There's still a drop here as well. Might be able to redrop either into the third or into the natural. Goes into the third. There is a couple of links in position, but does need a response here from Namshar. 2 drones do go down. This drop gets a couple of links, loses its marines though. Sol was microing this part in the middle, clears a lot of creep, and he's really just establishing a path forward for that +2 push. Drilling claws is on the way as well, and a couple of drones have fallen at this point. 5 workers have gone down, infantry armor and drilling claws finishing at the same time. It's a rare sighting. 4th base has finished already for Sol. Well, he's moving at extremely high speeds in this game. Would love to see a sensor tower to stop any kind of run-bys in the future. And the work count of Sol is higher than that of Namshar. This is extremely rare in a TVZ. And I would expect the next push of Sol to just be able to kind of win this game, honestly. I mean, he has a better army. He has similar upgrades, I have to admit, but more economy as well. And there's not that much creep. I mean, there's a single tumor still over here, which could be cleaned beforehand. Little drop here does get caught out by Namshar, and Sol continues dropping rather than going for that big +2 push. Surprises me a little bit. It feels like he has plenty of opportunity to move through the middle, try and do some damage. There is a lot of banelings, of course, and there's 2 upgrades, but I feel like with 4 tanks and 7 mines, he might actually be able to do something. Instead, heading for that multitasking play, trying to maybe deny some creep on that right side. Oh, sees the creep, actually redirects his drop. He's going for the main. getting creep at the top side and going for the main with the triple drop. There's another drop. Man, Sol is really good at multitasking. Oh, big mine hits. No, not the mine hits that Namshar quite wanted. Sol tries to re-burrow on a mine, but even with Drilling Claw slightly too slow for the power of the Baneling. Now 3 drops are heading into this main base. Namshar is out of position with these Zerglings. Mine is burrowing. Oh, gets... Oh, beautiful play by Sol. Absolutely insane. Baits all of these Marines into that mine. That was crazy good. Ultraless Cavern does get killed. 2 workers do go down. There's still a drop over here. There's still some mines at the edge of this creep. But of course the important part at this point is this drop, which will get cleaned up. But a lot of damage being done here by Sol, who is very far ahead in the unit lost. Has a better... Well, actually, doesn't have a better economy anymore. Namshar managed to squeeze in some drones. 10 drones do go down. I have no clue where that happened. Oh, big mine drop. Sol is playing so fast. There's 3-4 things happening at the same time. Even as an observer, I have to continuously be looking at the minimap here. It's very difficult to follow, honestly. These mines aren't cleaned up yet. Creep is falling absolutely everywhere. We have still these 2 Marines dropping once again. These mines still on the edge of the creep. We see another rotation most likely coming in from Sol. Another drop heading out. Ooh, this is the 4 mine drop. Oh, these mines they shot again. Another 9 workers do go down. Namshar still hasn't cleaned them. It's truly a mistake. There is some Marines over here. We have that drop heading towards the top side. We have a mine walking towards the edge of the creep. The bottom side feels a little empty right now. So perhaps you could add in a 5th drop and we could see something there as well. As Marines find a couple more kills. We'll get picked up in time. And here we have the single mine and the 4 mine drop going into that. I think this was originally the 3rd base. And Namshar once again loses a lot of workers. So even managed to save 2, 3, 4. No! Loses 1 mine, but managed to save 3 of them, which is a good deal if you ask me. Once again, a double drop heading forward. There's 2 medevacs here as well. And Sol is aiming at this creep on the top side. Look at the creep spread, how poor it is right now. Namshar is desperately trying to establish that creep spread, but I mean, he's gonna need more queens and different control groups for queens, because creep is disappearing at 4 or 5 locations at the same time. We see the creep here near that 5th base is very little. There is still some tumors here, which Sol could be cleaning up. Mine here helps defend this area. Here comes the 3 mine drop once again into the natural. 2 mines make it in, and we'll be able to kill at least a couple of workers. Now Spore there does help with the cleanup. 3 drones only gone down. So far 42 workers have fallen for Namshar, who's still at 77. Imagine what could have been. The 110 worker Zerg. But sadly no. We have 3 more CCs. Nukes. A fusion core, perhaps for Liberator range. I was gonna say Battlecruiser, but of course that's not really a thing. Going from bio into Battlecruiser, very rare to see. We have a double drop. We have a double drop already here, so really going into a quadruple drop, I think it's called. But Namshar is nicely in position. There is no anti-air yet, which is why this is so difficult for him to deal with. At the same time, the top base fell. There is a run-by into the 3rd base. This game is absolutely bonkers. Action all around. So you have a lot of links running into the natural base, trying to get a couple of kills here. As the 3-3 is finishing up for Sol, Sol managed to clean this up. Big drop into the 5th base. So we have a nuke landing on top of the 3rd base. And there's still mines everywhere. 38 workers gone down for Namshar. 36 have gone down for Sol. But Namshar still has a really big bank right now. So at the end of all of this, Sol has a nice looking army. I gotta give him that. But I'm getting a little bit afraid for him here. The only thing truly keeping him alive, I feel like, is his orbital count, which is at... Oh, it's only at 4. Oh, these aren't orbitals yet. If these... I thought these 3 were orbitals. If he has 7 orbitals at this point, you have 7 mules. So losing a lot of SCVs is painful, but you can still kind of make up for that, right? 7 mules is about the equivalent of 3 to 4 workers. So per mule. So that quick math is like 20, somewhere between 21 and 28 workers, right? So it's slightly better. He does need to turn those into orbitals. We have another run-by, just an attack really, on this 5th base of Sol, as we have a run-by into the 3rd base. There's no units there though, so Namshar is just going to be meeting some units. And for the first time, Sol is really the one being pushed back here. It goes for some Liberator harass. This is the ballsiest Liberator. Just, hello? Alright. Just ran away immediately. 5 workers do end up going down, so a little bit of eco damage. 7 SCVs being produced at a time here for Sol, so we'll be able to pump up that worker count relatively fast. There's an orbital floating near this area for a 6th base. I'd love to see these orbitals being morphed. We're gonna need some orbitals here, Sol. This could be getting repaired as well. Also, we don't want that to burn down, of course. A very big structure. And then there's a marine drop here. And for the first time, we have... first time in it feels like 5 minutes. There's a little bit of peace. Give their hands a little bit of rest. See the APM only at 600 currently for Sol. A couple more ghosts are on the way here. There's still 1 ghost remaining. Is there any nukes in store? How do you even see that? Still new to this observing thing. So we don't have any nukes so far. Bunkers with this is Neo Planet Steel Frame, I think. Neo Steel Frame allows for more people inside the bunker. I think it might also give it some armor. Never actually seen this upgrade in PvT, so I'm not quite sure exactly what it does. 2 nukes are on the way right now. There's 3 silos, I believe, or ghost academies to store them in. Planetary will most likely get taken out by this Ling run-by, or well, a little bit of an attack really. This is kind of the main army here of Namshar. Look at these little engines, these flames coming out of the Zerg player, this mech Zerg. You have another big run-by heading into that 3rd base. Banelings will be able to bust this wall. Ooh, reburrow here by the Widow Mine is not enough. 3 Widow Mines are running in, will be able to defend that run-by. Sensor tower, of course, spotting everything. Such a useful feature for the Terran, being able to see exactly what's happening on the map without any real cost. There's 11 more drones on the way, and Sol is slowing down a bit. 88 workers have gone down so far for Namshar this game, and 43 got killed by Namshar. So Sol still ahead in that regard. We see a couple of extra command centers coming out of Sol as well, who is not slowing down with the harass. What an interesting ghost skin, look at that. We have a random nuke in the middle of the map. This is the distraction nuke, which is not going to... Oh, he really hates this tree. Didn't burn. Sometimes the trees look burned afterwards, but this one doesn't. So we have a random drop not really doing anything, and Namshar is really re-establishing his creep threat. Sol is it's not doing that much honestly at the moment. Namshar does manage to spot this little red dot on the map. It's like, alright, I know what this is. Decides to move forward a bit, keeps denying that 6th base big run by heading into this orbital command, which if this was a planetary, this would be a lot more solid here for Sol, but instead his tanks and marines will get cleaned up. Bunch of workers falling as well right now, and it feels like Sol needs to start doing something at the mines. No, that's okay. He needs to start doing some of his harass again. Like, it feels like he's slowing down a bit, or we're gonna need to see at least some creep threat denial here out of Sol, who is trying to get this 6th base back, but Namshar has different plans for that. Cleans up a couple of mines. It's like, alright, you want to take that 6th base, but I don't think that's going to be capable if my main army is here. Good snipes coming out of Sol, who is most likely just going to lose this base. Oh, it does lift it in time. Impressive. Mine is over here. 8 workers once again going down though. And Namshar is the one getting the main damage in. The thing is that Sol has so many orbitals at this point. Where is it? That losing a couple of SCV isn't that terrible. 7 orbitals, there we go. Took me some time to figure that out. So yeah, 7 mules, of course, pretty big. Single marauder into the main base. No clue what is... Okay, probably came from here. We have a nuke who, I guess, dropped the... Or a nuke. We have a ghost who dropped the nuke. It's now invisible. I'm not sure where he dropped the nuke. I completely missed that. There's so much stuff happening on the map right now. 3 marauders heading once back into the main base. We'll be able to take out this extractor, which was empty. So, not the most cost efficient of drops. We have another nuke here happening. This ghost is visible, though. It would be absolutely insane if this is the ghost that get the nuke off. Oh, yes, baby. Boom! 15 workers do end up going down. The uncloaked ghost is the one that does it. Isn't that amazing? Liberator heading in for some more harass, and Sol is trying to find his pace back this game. The momentum that he had earlier of that early damage. With this Liberator trying to push in some of that damage. We'll get a couple of workers before the Biles and Corruptors clean it up. 17 workers once again going down. Another run-by into this base. This base is so vulnerable. So insanely vulnerable. Sol really needs to do something about this. Ooh. Saved by the bell there. Couple of mules rain down from the skies. We have a big attack here. Sol is microing this very well. Managed to clear out all of these banelings and these ultras. Nuke towards this base once again. The base that already got nuked. Talking about luck. Getting nuked twice. What's the chance you get nuked twice, you might ask? Well, apparently pretty big if Sol is playing this game. And 7 more workers do go down. Sol is feeling it. He's feeling groovy today. And he's pushing out again, trying to get some creep. I'd love to see a scan here to get that creep down. Top left base gets taken out by Namshar, who's doing... Oh my god, if he does one more run by into this base, I'm actually gonna lose it. Sol does have a lot of units here now. Sensor tower gets taken out, really denying that map vision that Sol has. How many workers have gone down? 114 workers have fallen so far in this game. And, well, at least for Namshar. 62 have gone down for Sol, so... big worker count slaughter here. So we have a 4 mine drop. The quadruple mine drop is coming back. Let's see if it will be able to do something. Namshar is heading towards the bottom side of the map. Maybe setting up some kind of counter attack again or another. Oh my god, this base is the most vulnerable base in the game. Absolute massacre of SCVs has happened here, as now it looks like this might be the end of the, the CC as well, as Corruptors pee on it and will go in for the chase. Yeah, this is the end of the orbital command finally. And in a way this is pretty sad for Namshar, because now this was basically a honeypot of free SCVs. Every time he went there he just got 10 SCVs. You know, he was like the mafia collecting their protection money, their security money. He just comes by every 5 seconds, picks off 10 SCVs. Like, it's a good investment right there. I think he should have kept that base alive. Now he'll need to go to a different place. Sol, of course, his mine drop killed 20 workers, which once again I missed. Sol observing here. I mean, there's just so much stuff happening, right? But this game has been extremely multitask heavy for both players. We have another ghost heading out, most likely queuing up a nuke. Oh, this time not on the nuked base, but on a different base. Let's see if it will work there. There is a spore. And Sol is pushing out through the middle of the map. Nuke towards the top side as well. Let's see if Namshar is capable of finding that. Namshar has to deal with his army in the middle as well. Second nuke going towards that bottom base. Namshar not paying attention here. Oh. 18 workers do end up going down. Second nuke. Oh no, Namshar's gonna lose this as well. Boom, 35 workers do go down within a couple of seconds of each other. There's still 1500 minerals in the bank. There's 7 larvae, but this is going to be difficult to reproduce. This is the end of Namshar's income, really. So we have another drop heading out. What is this, mines? No. 1 marauder, 6 marines into a medevac. Sounds like the beginning of the joke, but a very bad joke for Namshar. Most likely he's going to use a couple more drones for that. This ghost does end up getting cleaned up, as we have Sol's entire army here. Catching those ultralisks completely out of position. There is a planetary here, so being caught in between a rock and a hard place. Namshar is, who will end up losing this entire army. Most likely this base as well. Namshar will instead trade this top base for it. It might even be heading into another one. This is the original 5th base of Sol. Will end up going down as well against these Corruptors. This is a semi-base trade scenario now all of a sudden. This drop, like I said, very bad joke for Namshar. Will end up losing a base to that. Sol keeps pushing on. But Sol still has a good mining base down the bottom. There's extra command centers being built once again. How many orbitals is there still? There's still 5 orbitals, so 2 orbitals have gone down. Now, if this base falls for Namshar, what does he really have left? This base is being rebuilt. There's some mining over here, but this is truly one of the last mining bases that Namshar has, as his income is dropped to 1400. Sol's income is down to 1400, but he still has a bunch of money in the bank. He has a bigger army currently as well. 178 workers killed so far. Jesus. Mines hitting absolutely everything. We have some good micro here by Sol, but actually Namshar seems to be the one crushing this fight. There is another ghost heading towards that final mining base. So Sol is like, I see you have 4 drones still mining. How about we fix that problem real fast? Namshar is afraid the nuke is somewhere over here. We'll see it at the end. We'll lose a drone or 2 most likely. Oh my god, that's so sad. It's the only guy that dies. As we have Namshar pushing forward after taking a fantastic engagement. It's like, alright, you killed one of my bases. Now let's return this favor to you, as this planetary seems to be taken down by the Corruptor P. There's another nuke towards this top side. Sol actually is running low on money as well. There's still a couple of orbitals, of course, which he could be used. There's 4 command centers. 2 of those might fall against the corruptors. More workers have gone down. I completely missed. I think that was all the workers here. This ghost is a hero. 33 kills on this ghost. A true veteran of the army, and comes back home to defend his homeland as well. After going to war, will fight these links head on and dies a painful death, as his buddies were not back in time. Now, Sol still has a lot of orbitals. The worker counts are super even. The problem is Sol doesn't really have a base to mine currently, or a location to mine. He wants to go back here eventually, and once he gets there, he has 5 orbital commands. Oh, he has this. Yeah, and this is mining. Look at that income right now. Tripling the income of Namshar. But that's mainly just because Namshar has no income whatsoever. 700 income right now against the 1500, so not quite the triple anymore. 4 mines moving forward. Oh, a little bit out of position. This is a waste, Sol. Why are you doing this? You don't have that big an army. This is fine to do if you have 3k in the bank, but not if you're on 92 supply. It's almost 10% of your army right there that you just sent forward. Planetary being constructed at this base, which once again will be saturated. The orbital up here is not being found yet by Namshar. Oh, spoke a little too soon. Does end up going down. This was another mine drop. Gets 9 workers. Almost killing 33% of the worker force here by Namshar. Jesus, 212 against 111 workers killed. This is absolutely insane. This is absolutely insane. This is one of the craziest games. Mines shoot one more time. Once again, 5 workers do end up going down as the mines now do get cleaned up. What is there still here for Namshar is 35 links, 1 Ravager and 12 Corruptors. Problem really is the ground force might just be too big, right? 21 Marauders, 21 Marines. There's 9 Banelings, which might be able to be of some help, but I mean, I think the ground army is just too big for Sol at this point. Planetary does end up falling, so a lot of that mining that Sol had before is now going down. Planetary finally being built. About time, Sol, as he will be mining from just this base for now. We'll try to re-establish here as well, but only a couple of patches left, 4 patches, and these 2 are running very dry as well. So actually struggling to get some money, but his army is really big at the moment. He's pushing forward towards that middle base, one of the only 2 mining bases. There's 8 drones here, there's 5-6 drones over here. Once this base falls, that will cost Namshar a bit of money. Oh, Corruptors chasing these medevacs. So underestimating his position a little bit here. I think he could just turn around and fight this, honestly. What is there really for Namshar? Namshar should not be showing his army right now. Namshar should be building... Well, honestly, I'm not sure what he should be building. As we see Sol with a massive army. More orbital commands flying to new locations. Do we have something going here? No, not yet. Scans being used clear some of the creep, and Sol of course wants to be fighting off of creep, but every time he moves out he seems to be losing a base to these Corruptors, and this might be the big push forward from Sol. He's like, alright, your Corruptors are there, that's fine, I can just push forward. I have enough mines to deal with the Banelings, I have enough Marauders to deal with everything here, and the Marines will finish off the rest. I think this might be a GG gets called, and Sol manages to win this game. Now I want to have a quick look at the workers lost. Oh my god. 223 against 114 workers killed. So in total that means 337. Is that correct? Yeah, 337 workers have lost their lives in this game. Unit loss type of 57k against 50k. That is absolutely insane. This is a very good game. Like I mentioned, from the stay-at-home, most recent stay-at-home Star Cup. Now, if you did enjoy this game, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Leave a like down below, as it helps me a lot. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope to see all of you next time. Bye bye.